Even from the time I was very young, I think I always knew I wanted to do something with art when I grew up. I was a part of a really creative household. My mom is a teacher and has a art background, a minor in art, and my dad's a writer. So I was just submersed in art from a time I can remember. My mom was always making something or sewing something or building something, and she would include my brother and I in that. So I mean, from a young age, we were painting with her, we were coloring, we were building elaborate sandcastles at the beach and snow sculptures in the winter, and it's just kind of a part of who I am. So when it came time to turn that into a career, my dad, who's also very practical, said, well, you can't make a living being an artist. And so I had to really think about what that meant and do some research. And again, through, who knows, hopefully God guiding me along the way, came to the career of interior design and did that in college and loved it from the minute I first tried it. I then transitioned into my second calling, as a parent. But that was a point of struggle, changing from being out in the world, being a career person, getting dressed up every day and having meetings and being with adults to being home with a 2-year-old. And I really distinctly remember that period as, at first, really exciting. I was like, cool, we're gonna take walks and go to the playground, and I'm gonna cook dinner every night. And so I did that, and it kind of was tedious, and it kind of wasn't fulfilling, at first. And I had times of struggle and really asking God, gosh, is this what I should be doing? And not feeling like it was right and feeling like I should be enjoying it, every minute, like I had kind of in my career life, and parenthood just isn't like that. So I was praying about it, and I was worrying about it, and I was becoming anxious and maybe even a little depressed, and just asking God for a sign, like, is this right? Is this what I should be doing now? Until one day, I woke up in the morning and the day began as it always does, with the breakfast and the diapers and the bottles and the laundry. And finally, mid-morning, I just looked at my daughter and I'm like, we can't do this anymore. What can we do today that's fun? And my instincts kind of kicked in of my own childhood, and we went to the art store and we bought paper and crafts and crayons and markers and fabric, and we just went home and started making stuff. And she loved it, and I loved it. It was at that point where my focus then started to shift, and I started to say, I can still be a creative person. I can still be who I am at my core and also be a parent. There's nothing more creative than parenting, so I began to find some value and some joy in it that day. And then that's continued to just grow and grow and grow over the years. And my daughter's now 7, and I have a 4-year-old as well. And most of our days we do creative things. Right about the time that I was pregnant with my second daughter, my mom had a heart attack and survived, but needed some care and some help, and was several months of really struggling, with her. So I just kind of dropped everything, went to her where I grew up in my hometown, and just kind of stayed there. And I couldn't have done that had I had a career or a job. So I can see now that, again, things were just flowing as they should. And I was able to just help care for her and help kind of get her back on her feet. But I was also pregnant and not caring for myself very well, and then had my second daughter, and then continued to just kind of run myself ragged, as I do, and probably as all moms do, trying to just figure it out and be everything to everyone. And I was chaperoning my daughter's preschool field trips, and my second daughter was like a week old. I look back and I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I put myself through that? And I was struggling, but I wasn't admitting it. I was just like, I can keep doing this. I can keep going forward. And I remember very distinctly just kind of awaking from sleep in the middle of the night with these words in my mind, be easier on yourself. And that was it, be easier on yourself. And I truly think that that was God kind of speaking into my ear because I couldn't see it myself. That phrase kind of resonated through my coming days, and it slowly started to sink in. I already pray about it. I'm watchful for the road signs, as I call them. And I know that whatever I grow into next will have creativity involved and will probably have children involved. And I'm starting to feel like it might have some teaching involved. As a result of being a parent and having more time at home, I've been lucky enough to, do some work in our church with kids and to be involved in vacation Bible schools and to be involved in my girls' schools. And that's kind of moved into I've taught a few preschool classes and had that experience. I never could have done that prior to having kids. I can see that I've grown in that way to really understand kids and how they tick. So I've sort of tucked that skill in my tool belt, and I'd like to see myself doing, something creative and with kids at the point where I feel that might be right. And what that means, I still don't know. But I trust that there'll be a little sign and that I'll feel a little pull and that I'll have to say yes to, something that comes up. And again, I've never been disappointed.